All right, guys, welcome back to Conversation Convo Combos. I'm your host Brian, and my co-host Mike. and we are actually talking today. I got a question for you. This one is gonna be a doozy. We are talking about school experiences, good, bad, funny, all everything around, up, down, the whole dual shock controller.
So
So
like
it could
the
be
like
it
the
could be
hard.
elementary, it could be middle school, high school,
All
all
right,
throughout.
all right, I got one. It's
Go.
gonna knock it out of the park. This is so quick,
All right.
so quick. It's so quick. It's as quick as drinking a whole thing of moonshine. Quick. Harlem Shake. Yeah, crazy. People crazy. Stupid. Yeah, done. All right, like that. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Definitely, I'd have to say like there was when it was eighth grade. It was my second year of basically. I really started to engage with Ray and
Yeah, because we
group.
were all in the same pod.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
eighth
blue
grade.
blue pod. Yep.
For seventh grade we weren't, and then for eighth grade we were.
Oh, you were in green in seventh?
Or no.
Yeah,
We were
because
in
we,
blue
we
pod.
we all stayed the same
Yeah, we
seventh,
stayed the same.
seventh, and eighth. We were only different six because
I wasn't even there sixth grade.
yeah, you were.
No, I was. I went to Upchuck Pennachuck, which was in Nashua. I went. That's how I met Tyler.
Yeah, but I remember seeing you in six though.
I did city year. That's how I met Sierra. So I wasn't fully like. For sixth grade, I did all sixth grade, and then my mom passed away, and I'm pretty sure I did like some kind of like city year or some kind of like.
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
thing.
you're right. Let me cancel what I said because yeah, you're right. It was seventh because I remember Johan talking about you, like obviously in a good way, but he was saying,
Better.
he was saying he's like yeah. There's this kid Mike, like he's mad chill. Like he's a little corny, but like he's mad chill and he's funny. I was like okay.
I'm fucking like my fucking code name is Corn Cob. No. I definitely was corny back then. It was bad. I could be real corny.
Still are.
Well, I don't like to toot my own cob, but
I don't want to butter my own corn, but
but no, definitely yeah, seventh grade, no, eighth grade. It was Ray was in the same English class as me with Miss Sloan.
oh jeez, yeah,
And
that teacher, jeez.
we had
Christ.
Anthony in our class.
Oh, the one that was like basically kind of like my
he was like
my twin, but not really.
he was your twin, but he was Mexican, like full blown.
Yeah, but he had this like weird personality because it's like
It was
when he was out of school, he was definitely office rocker, but
yeah.
when he was in school, it was at least like somewhat. But then
Dude.
when he went through that whole altercation with Cheyenne,
yeah.
he like flipped his rocker and shit like that.
He was still like even then he was still pretty office rocker. He was a little bit timid, but so he ended up drawing a picture of our teacher Miss Sloan from English class, and it looked like it was kind of like straight up. It was like you got. If anybody knows SpongeBob and when Patrick draws a picture of Mrs. Puffs, and
Is this what you think of me?
that literally, I swear
Word
on
for
my
word.
life, like script to script, that is exactly what happened in that class. We were sitting there, and so Anthony had drawn the picture, put it on Ray's desk, and then we all came in, we all sat down. Ray said, "What the hell is this? Like, who the fuck put this on my desk?" And then Miss Sloan came in and said, "Ray, you need to calm down or you're going to go to the office." He's like, "Dude, I didn't even do anything. Like, we just got you." And then she's like, "Sit down." And he's like, "Okay." Like, and he sat down and he's like, he had the paper and she's like, what is your issue? And then he's like, I just came in and this paper was on my desk. And she's like, oh, you drew this? What is this supposed to be me? And he's like, I didn't draw this. That wasn't me. It was here when I got in here. And then she held it up and she's like, is this what you guys think of me? Who drew this? Who drew this? You can go to the office. And then freaking people were laughing. And then freaking Anthony said, oh, you like my drawing? And then Ray's like, you fucking drew that shit. You're gonna get me in fucking trouble. And then freaking she said, Anthony, you can go to the office. And then she's like, Ray, if you keep it up, you're gonna go to the office. And freaking, I was just like, I could not stop laughing. I was like, oh my god, I just had like a full circle, SpongeBob moment in school. I didn't think SpongeBob could like play like word for word script into real life, but that was as real as it got.
Like on par.
But that was one of my funniest moments. Well, one. Like I said, there's another one I could do, but if you got one.
Are we just going off of funny experiences now?
Whatever. I mean.
For funny experiences, I remember, what was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh, this was like more earlier. This was like elementary. I remember one of my teachers, I think it was like fourth grade or third grade. I think it was fourth. She had like this traffic light thing in her room, but it was like kind of to simulate like timing and stuff like that, because we would do like kind of like a same thing that like Miss Sloan would do, like with a hot potato, but like we would like kind of like say whatever like that. Yeah. I hated that fucking thing too. That shit was fucking annoying, Miss Sloan's. But yeah, I remember everybody was like, in the activity doing them and stuff like that. I don't know why, but my imagination just always just be out there. I was pretending my finger was like some type of like spaceship, whatever like that, and getting closer to like the red light on the traffic light, and it was like burning, and I was like just like imitating voice, and then it came to me for like the ball or whatever like that, and everybody's just kind of looking at me, and I just look over and I'm like, oh. So I'm just over here just pretending that my fingers is like some weird type of spaceship thing driving into the sun. And yeah. It was a little bit of an embarrassing moment, but it was a funny moment because I was just like, I was young, so I was just doing my own shit, just heavily distracted, ADHD as finest.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, I got another one. Jesus. Another funny moment. So we were riding on the bus. It was me, Ray, and Johan. Bus 15. Rides. Bus 15 was like legit because it had so many of the freaking obnoxious kids. It had freaking Jason Santana, fucking Justin, Justin, the tall white one.
Johnson.
And it had Kevin Jenkins, and it had freaking Hector Velez at one point.
Yeah, but a lot of them, they will hopscotch between buses.
But most of the time, they were on freaking 15 for a while. At least for, I think it was 8th grade. And then one day, freaking Jason Say2 was freaking messing around, and he had said something like, Bubba had said something, or Kevin, Bubba, same person, by the way. So Kevin had said something, and then so Jason Say2 had made a comment, and Kevin had said, dude, shut the hell up, you little midget. Like, keep it up. Watch what happens. And then so Jason Say2, he acts all like
tries to
cocky and try hard, and so he was like, oh, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You gonna fucking like throw something at me or what? I've already seen y'all do everything. Like, All right, mind you, bus 15 was also known as the fucking bullshit bus. We always got the bus that either didn't have heat or had heat during the summer or fucking had the cage on it.
Yeah.
Or we had the sports cage from freaking, it was supposed to be for football. But so fucking that day we had the fucking sports cage and he said, "What the fuck did you say?" And he said, "Oh, I didn't say nothing." And he said, "No, you fucking said something. Come here." And he fucking grabbed Jason Say-2, fucking stuck him in the cage, threw him in there, and then closed the cage and held it. He said, "Dude, guys, let me out. Come on." And he said, "No, I ain't gonna let you out." And the lady went, "Come on, let him out of there." And he was like, "Hey, you drive the bus. I'm gonna handle this situation." And then
Yo.
it was just too funny. And then, like, Jason was freaking the hell out. He was like, "Dude, let me out. Like, what? Like, I'm gonna miss my stop." And he's like, "You ain't gonna miss nothing." And he said, "You're gonna stay in there until you fucking learn to keep your mouth shut." He said, "If you got nothing good to say, don't say it." Like,
Yeah, point blank, it's simple.
it's like you get told, "Got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all." Like,
Yeah, I still remember like all the bus rides that like we had all together. I still remember Joshua Dustin, the
Yep.
short one
yep.
with the blonde hair. I remember it was this one time that we were like sitting together. It was his brother Chance and him and then me on the end. And this was bus 4, which was also notorious for like a lot of crazy shit. And fucking people were throwing shit all in the bus and everything like that. I remember Joshua got dude, he got the front cover of a notebook thrown at him. And then a little bit after that, he had the back cover thrown at him. He was like, "Dude, who the fuck keeps on throwing shit?" And then finally, someone decided to throw the fucking full fucking notebook. I'm talking binding and everything through it. He's like, "Oh, okay, dude, like fucking seriously, someone just threw their whole fucking notebook. Like, dude, what the fuck?"
I got something better.
Oh, I know where you're going with this
can
one.
attest to this. So we had this girl on our bus.
Yes, I was there, dude.
And freaking, so it was me, you, and freaking Ray.
Oh
And
my
Johan,
God.
And we're all on the bus.
Oh, dude.
And freaking this girl was on the front. And people were throwing pencils, throwing like fucking notebooks and stuff, and papers, and it was freaking hitting. Basically, you just kept your head down and just hoped that nothing came in your section.
Yeah.
So freaking, I kept my head down, and every once in a while, I had something fall in like my lap or at my feet, and I was just like, whatever. But this freaking girl got hit on the top of her head by like I forget what it was.
I think it was like a marker or something.
It was a marker or something.
First, it was something light.
And she turned around, and she was like, I don't know if she was like pissed that day. She had a bad night or a bad school day or whatever, but she was pissed. She turned around and she said, "Can you guys stop throwing stuff?" And someone took a freaking textbook, not a notebook, a full-fledged textbook, like a freaking U.S. history or freaking whatever, and threw it at her. And it hit her dead in the face. And she fucking went and fucking fell down. And fucking she like was just crying. And it was just like,
Yeah.
it was like, you didn't know, because at first you were like, damn, like I feel bad, because like if I got hit with a textbook, I'd be pissed and I'd probably be hurt. But at the same time, it was kind of funny, because if you know from like a standpoint of like, obviously if you're getting told from the story from the outside, you're told like, oh, like a girl on her bus got hit by a marker, said, "Can you stop throwing stuff?" and get hit by a book, you'd feel bad for her and be like, whoever threw it is a dick.
Yeah.
But if you know the history behind it of like, this girl has like,
She's a Karen.
she's a Karen and never lets anyone sit with her. She wants to sit alone. She's freaking said all kinds of like comments about people and said like, "Oh, y'all are stupid," like, and all kinds of basically name calling and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like you laughed and were like, you kind of got what you deserve, but at the same time you kind of felt bad because you were like, damn, it's like you said, it's not a notebook, it's a freaking textbook.
Yeah.
and you got hit in the face instead of like, the back of the like your back or something like that. But it was just like
I just remember like
just karma.
so many stuff happening. Oh yeah, perfect example. I remember back to what I was saying in our conversation before we started this podcast, the whole thing with Michael and Kim.
Mm.
Dude, I remember there was this one time, and Kim, yo, she just always had the knack to run her mouth. I have no idea why, but back
She's
then,
a lot.
but back then, I gave no fucks. Back then, I was just like, yo, you keep on fucking asking for it, I'm gonna give it to you. So she's just like, oh, and this was the day that what was it? I think it was progress reports or report cards. I believe it was progress reports, and they always gave it out in like a orange envelope. Yeah. And then she kept on like trying to like smack me and hit me and shit like that, and I took her progress report envelope, and I was just like, I'm like, yo, like keep hitting me. I'm like, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna throw this bitch out the window. I'm like, I ain't playing with you. I'm like, stop. I'm like, because I'm gonna seriously throw this bitch out the window. I'm like, cut your shit. She kept on trying to swing at me. I opened up the window, chucked that bitch out the window, and she's like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, fucking dip the fuck out. I'm just like, I told her. I was like, I ain't fucking playing around. Fucking literally chased me and Mike like for I don't even know like how far we ran, and he was just like, yo, he was like, that's just fucking crazy. I'm like, dude, I fucking told her. I told her like I don't even know like how many times, but I told her repeatedly. I was like, yo, stop fucking playing with me. And then tell me how the next day she reported me and tried to make it seem like I gave her I sprained her arm or some type of shit like that. Because I remember pushing her arm away, but I know for a fact I didn't push it like so far back or anything like that. And then literally I came in the next day, and then I got called into the office, and I was just like, why am I here? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And then sure enough, I got reported by her saying that like I injured her, whatever like that. I got 2 days of internal suspension. 2 days. And I was just like, dude, this is complete bullshit. And when you're internal suspension, they ain't nothing to fucking do. And the dude that was in charge of internal suspension, he just had like a straight, serious face. But like he has some stories, yo. He has some stories. And he was a little bit of a chill vibe, but like you knew for a fact not to like fuck around. Because if we started like doing something, he'd just like give us that look, and he'll be just like, seriously? Like, guys, seriously? It's like you want another day? It's like I don't have anywhere really to be. If you want, you can get another day. It doesn't mean anything to me. And like literally they shut up. But like when I was like internal suspension, I'm like, dude, this is fucking boring, man. And I hated getting detention on the weekends. That shit was just straight up fucking bullshit. I remember fucking going into that, and I was like, dude, oh my god, like why the fuck am I here? And you would be in internal suspension from I think it was like from 8 to 10.
Yep, 8 to 10.
And it was just like, dude, like there's so much I could be doing with my time right now. Then you get out from detention on weekends, and you be like, all right, time to hang out with the boys, because it's like this is just straight fucking bullshit. But yeah, man, those fucking eternal detentions and weekend detentions, dude. I remember one time, fucking. I forgot how the fuck I got detention. Oh, no, I remember. It was because I skipped class. And that was when I was hanging out with, you remember Adrian?
Yep.
Adrian and, well, oh, Jesus Christ, another Mike. But this was Mike Diaz, the Spanish one. Mike Diaz, yeah. You remember that incident that they did at our high school? That they set the toilet paper on fire and shit like that, and the boys, I think, bathroom.
There was a lot of shit that happened. They set the toilet paper on fire.
Yeah, they were crazy. They did a little like they did a little too much shit, and it was just like, bruh. But yeah, it was a day that I was skipping a class with. I think it was Mike Diaz, and I played it off, trying to be like, oh yeah, no, I was in the what was it? I think I tried to play off like I was in the weight room or whatever like that. Or oh no, I said I was in resource, but I wasn't actually in resource. So Mr. McCormick, this motherfucker, yo, went to Miss
Miss
Baum,
Baum, yeah.
and he was just like, "Hey, I have a question for you. Was Brian in your classroom on this day around this time?" And then Miss Baum was like, "Oh, well, no, he actually wasn't." And they both looked at me. I'm like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Damn!" And he's just like, Mr. McCormick was just like, "Brian, seriously?" He's like, "You really think I'm that stupid?" He's like, "Really?" He's like, "First of all, I saw you out there in the courtyard. My window is literally right there, so I could see in the courtyard, first of all. And secondly, you really didn't think I was gonna not follow up and figure out where you were?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you got 2 days of detention, bud." And it's like, "Sorry, but you did it to yourself." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I did. I understand." And then Miss Baum just like shaking her head, and she's just like, "I don't know what to say to you." And I was just
Yo.
like, "No, I deserve
Don't-
that one. That one was
Don't
on me."
even get me started with that lady.
Dude, she,
oh my god.
I don't even know. She had it out for you, homeboy. She
Freaking-
had it out for you.
So freaking, I remember freaking, I would like get C's on my test or whatever, and freaking somehow my stepmom would find out because she would email her, and I would be like, she'd be like, "You got a C on this test? Da, 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 da. You ain't going to see your friends this week. You're gonna be grounded for the whole weekend. The weekend coming up. Study. That's all you're gonna do." And I was just like, "Bro, I just got that test grade like literally yesterday. How did you find out?" And freaking come to find out, it was Miss Baum emailing her like every detail, like to a T. And I was like, I get you're my research teacher and stuff, but at some point you have to ask yourself like,
Get off my nuts.
like eventually you got to be like, am I ruining this kid's life? Like, there's a reason his stepmom is asking me to email every possibility to her.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should like reduce the amount that I email her and be like, email the most important things. But I mean, that brings me to the point of like, so there was a time me, Ray, and Johan decided we were going to skip school. And they're like, "Mike, you should skip school. You never skip school." I said, "I've never had a reason to skip school. Like, I went to school, did my shit, got out, and I already get grounded. Like,
Yeah.
why would I skip school? That's just asking for it." But finally, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I want to skip school because I'm already grounded. What am I going to get? Ultra grounded?
That's it, Mike. You're super grounded.
Oh, my God. And that's like
It was funny at the
funny
moment.
as fuck, but at the same time, it's so sad
So accurate.
because it's so accurate. And
I was just like, what the fuck is super
I
grounded?
literally,
Like,
that's
well, you got barred? What was she treating you like fucking Harry Potter?
That's literally what she would almost do. She was like, I remember freaking
Just living underneath the staircase.
No, I wasn't living on the staircase. I was living on the porch. I was literally living on a porch with a bay window, and the room had no insulation.
Oh yeah,
Literally, it
because
was
that room would
cold
get
as
cold
fuck.
as fuck.
And you know what
yeah, I
they
remember
did
that
to
now.
solve it? They were like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a fucking space heater." And I had a space heater in my room, which is known to be one of the most dangerous things. Literally, fire departments tell you not to use them unless of an emergency.
Yeah, those things are kind of
And
sketchy.
It's like I had a huge space heater, and I had to turn that on, and it made the air so dry, so I would get sick, and I'd have like a sore throat, a fucking dry as fuck nose, and it's like I'd be like, I don't feel good, and freaking I remember she'd be like, "Oh, you're fine, just go to school. It's just it's allergies," and I'm like, "There's no allergies. It's that fucking space heater in my room." I'm like, "Why can't I be?" And she's like, "Oh, well, if you want, if it gets during the coldest months, you could be, or the coldest times, you could go and sleep in your sister's room on the bunk bed. And I'm like, but that's not even legal. Like, I'm at a certain age, you can't have brother and sister sleeping in the same room together. There's a certain point where you gotta have that separation because I mean, once a boy gets to a certain age, they're gonna do certain things, and the same with a girl. I mean, and if I mean, it's not you shouldn't subject the sibling to.
Yeah.
Anyways, but back to the on topic. So I had decided, you know what, I'm gonna skip school. Fuck it. I'm like, Ray, Johan, I'm skipping school, and they're like, "You're gonna skip school?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Where are we going?" "Oh, well, let's we'll walk around." And I'm like, "John, can't we go to here?" And he's like, "No, my mom already said if she fucking catches me skipping school, she's gonna fucking beat my ass." And I'm like, "Okay, well, usually if your mom says she's gonna beat you up, she's gonna beat you up."
Yeah.
So, and then Ray's like, "Well, my grandma thinks I'm going to school, but I have to at least, go half the day, and then I can like go home and tell her like I left early, and
Yeah.
she'll be all right." So we were like, "Okay, well, let's find somewhere to go." And then I'm like, "Well, we can go somewhere, and then we can go back to my place because my stepmom goes to work. My dad goes to work mad early. He wakes me up, and then when he wakes me up, he literally leaves out the door to go to work because he's got to be to work for like 6 o'clock."
I can't even imagine that interaction. Your pops probably just like going to school. I don't know. All right, see you later.
Yep, that's literally what it was. He'd knock my door, be like, "Get up." I'm like, "Yep." And he'd leave. He'd literally go out the door. He'd head for the door and then leave. And I was like, "Okay, word. Like, let me chill. Let me eat breakfast. Get some food in me." So
I remember always going over to your house too in the morning too, and you'll be like eating a bowl of cereal, or whatever, like that, and we'll just be like chilling and stuff like that. Then once you did your jazz, then we'll walk to school together.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, all right, it was like you got your meal in, I already got my meal in, so we'll just head straight over there
Yeah.
because it wasn't like you lived that far anyways, so
Yeah.
it was just straight along the way.
That's literally what me and Johan did. Johan came over and I was finishing my like bowl of cereal and I was like, "I'm just chilling because I don't want to leave too early and make it seem too obvious." So I freaking left at my normal time, and so we left, and then we were walking around and we were like, "Okay, we gotta walk around, but we can't obviously go to like stores or the mall or whatever because at
Right.
the time the mall was like very strict. They were like, "Oh, like security will kick you out if they know you're a minor because they know you're supposed to be in school." So we were like, "Can't go to the mall, can't go to like a movie theater, we can't do anything." So we gotta like, walk around, be careful where we go because
Yeah.
they'll like try and say some shit. So we were walking and we actually went up towards where Sierra used to live, Kennard Road.
Yeah.
The over where the golf course, the country club is
Yep.
in Manchester. So we got all the way up to there. I didn't even realize we were there. At the time, it seemed mad far, but now it's not that far to me. We got up there and we got to the golf course and we're walking. All of a sudden, we're like, "Okay, we're just gonna chill here in the woods." I mean, it wasn't like woods, but it was like decent woods.
Yeah.
There was coverage. We're like, we're gonna chill here for a couple of hours and then we'll head back down to, downtown, and then we'll go to my house because my stepmom would have gone to work because she was supposed to go to work at, I think it was Subway or McDonald's or whatever, at like 8, 9 o'clock. And we're like, "Okay, 10 o'clock we'll go down and, it'll be good. 10 o'clock she'll be long gone. My dad's at work. We'll be good." And so we went to the golf course. We're chilling there. All of a sudden, this little fucking golf cart comes by. We go, "Oh, fuck." We fucking run. I don't know why we even ran. We weren't even anywhere near in sight of this golf cart. And even if we were, they weren't going to do shit. They would probably just see us and be like, "What the fuck are they doing?" And then they
Yeah.
would probably eventually report us when they go back. But we had plenty of time. We could have chilled.
Yeah.
And so we freaking ran. And we ran and ran, and then we stopped. And we walked back to my house and we're like, dude, she's got to be gone. Your stepmom's got to be gone. I'm like, yeah, my stepmom's probably gone. It's like 10. We were like, if you look at the sun's about like this. I mean, we were like stupid. I mean, might as well say we were drunk. We were acting like drunks at that point because we were like, oh, the sun's like about almost directly above us. So it must be like 11 o'clock or 10:30.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. Trying to go by the sun because at the time we were like, we didn't have watches. And I don't know if we didn't have a phone or we left our phone somewhere. I don't even fucking know. For some reason we were going by the sun. And Bray can attest to this. We were going by the sun. We were like, oh yeah, like it's probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock because the sun's almost directly above us. And so we go to my house or my apartment, and then we get ready. I put the key in the door. I get ready to turn it. I look in the window, and I see fucking Nat, my stepmom, walk across the kitchen, and I'm like, oh fuck! Fucking turn the key back quickly, slide it out, and I look to see if she fucking noticed, and then I'm like, fucking quickly walk away, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, we gotta go. She's still in there, and they're like, oh shit. So we quickly like speed crawl or walk, whatever you want to call it, away, and then we book it, and we're like, oh shit. And Ray's like, dude, we can just go to my house. I'm just gonna tell my grandma that fucking I did half a day, and fucking they were like getting on my nerves, and the kid was fucking talking shit, and all this shit happened or whatever. So we went to Ray's house, and fucking Ray's grandma's like, oh, you know you got to go to school, like you can't keep leaving. And basically his grandma actually like kind of partially gave a shit, but like was kind of like, I can't like force you to go,
Yeah.
whatever. But so we chilled at Ray's, we played video games for that whole day, and then finally when it became time for us to get out of school, I waited a little bit, went home a little bit after that, and got home. And I was like, hey, I'm home, and like this is my homework here, like whatever. Da, da. And so probably like a week went by, not even, and then fucking Miss Bomb. Back to her. She fucking emailed my dad, who'd been told my stepmom, hey, Mike didn't show up for resource today. And so my dad had asked me, did you go to school? And of course I looked him in the face, and I was like, I mean, most dads are like, oh, you look me in the face and tell me you went to school, but fucking he didn't say that. He just said, did you go to school? And I was like, I looked him in the face and I was like, yeah, I went to school. Like, it's just fucking basic day. I just fucking, went to classes. I didn't really have to go to resource today. I just fucking, it was pretty simple. There wasn't no tests. There wasn't anything major where I had to go to resource. And
right.
And so he's like, okay. And then my dad he wasn't one to confront me, or he wasn't one for conflict.
Yeah.
And then my stepmom got home, and she was like, oh, like, your dad said he got an email from your resource teacher saying you didn't go to her class or the period you were supposed to see her at. And I was like, yeah, I didn't need to because everything was pretty easy. And I was like, I'm going to just, I asked her assistant, which was that older lady, like, I think she had white hair.
Yeah, no, exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
And I was like, can I go down to the lunchroom? And a lot of times if you had nothing to do and you had nothing to do, you showed you did studying throughout the week. When it came to like Friday or Thursday or whatever, and you asked to go down to the lunchroom, they would sign you a pass to go down to the lunchroom during their time. And so I basically have done that many times. So I had said that to my stepmom, and she was like, okay, yeah. But I obviously like knew she was going to investigate. So I was like, fuck. I'm like, either I'm going to be totally fucked, or she's going to ask, and Miss Bomb's going to be like, I guess I'll ask my assistant. And then she probably would be like, well, he's done it countless times. I might have done that. And then Miss Baum it would go onto the carpet.
Yeah.
This shit fucking hit me in the fucking face so bad. Fucking Miss Baum was like, oh, no. Like, I told my assistant, like, I have to approve if they go to, like, down in the lunchroom, like, some whole bullshit, like, crap, even though, like, that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Because her assistant would countless times write us a pass and let us go down because I don't know why, but Miss Baum thought she was, like, the fucking, like, Vaughn, like, the Scarface of the fucking
CEO or whatever.
CEO of like resource, even though there was countless other resource teachers. Like now that I work in a school, I know there's no such thing as like a superior teacher. There's like just teachers. And
yeah. The principal or assistant principal and principal. There's no like
And then you got teachers and you got assistants that help the teachers, and the assistants have almost as much power as the teachers.
Because for some reason we had like what? We had three. We had three assistant principals. We had Mr. Collins,
Mr. Ray had an assistant principal. Me and you had the same one, Mr. Collins. And then there was another one.
I forgot the third one's name.
I don't even remember the two. I remember Mr. Collins, and that was it.
Yeah.
Mr. Collins, Mr.
I just know the other one. The other one, he was a douchebag because I remember one time it was in history class, and it was Kevin. And to be honest with you, Kevin wasn't really doing anything like that serious. But like we were all just like chilling and stuff like that. Kevin was just being Kevin, and then fucking. Here he comes. O'Neal. Mr. O'Neal. That was the other one. Because it's Mr. Collins, Mr. O'Neal, and I forgot the last one. But he came in and he was just like, he pointed at Kevin. He was like, you, come with me. And Kevin was already already kind of knew what it was about. And he was like kind of like half asleep, whatever, like that. He's like, I don't even care at this point. It's like, it's whatever, yo. And he's like, yeah, like you need to come with me to my office. He's like, I'll come to your office, but like, yo, like don't be trying to be grabbing up on me like that. It's just like I'm compliant. I'm going to your office, and it was just like I swear they always treated like I don't know, for me like they always like treated minorities like a different way. Like Mr. Collins, he never really treated him that way. Like I was barely in this dude's office.
Just overly aggressive.
Yeah, I was barely in the principal's office or Mr. Collins' office. The only times I was in Mr. Collins' office was like for like things that wasn't even like really that serious. Like when I was dating that chick Brittany, he like he was trying to shout out for me and stuff like that, and he saw who I was like talking to and walking with, and he's like, Brian. He's just shaking his head. He's like, Brian, don't. He's like, don't do it, Brian. It's like, I'm telling you, it's like, don't do it. I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, don't, trust me. Like, don't. You don't want all of that. Like, trust me, don't. And I wish I would have took that to initiative, and I would have been like, yo, this is what he meant, but it just the wires weren't connecting.
And you're young.
Yeah, so it wasn't there. Even in elementary school, dude, I was rarely in the principal's office. The only time I was in the principal's office was freaking that whole thing with Kim. Yeah. Because I got reported and I'm just like chilling there. I'm just like, again, I was just like, why the fuck am I here? And then freaking sure enough, he's like over here talking to me and stuff like that. I was just like, I don't even know why I'm here and stuff like that. And then there was another time, this was you remember this day. Remember the courtyard in middle school, McLaughlin? I think it was either 7th or 8th. The fucking chocolate.
Freaking Decory gave you the freaking
chocolate laxative. Because first he tried to give it to Jason St. Two, and then Jason St. Two, he was just like all like, being all like and I was just like, okay, like I'll eat the chocolate, and I pretty much ate like a good amount of it, and then like they were laughing, and I was just like, why are you guys laughing? And they were like, oh, well, it's chocolate laxative, and I was like, what? And like, yeah, so I ran to the bathroom and
You
I just
started
started
making
like
yourself puke.
regurgitating, like trying
And
to
then you
throw
went
up.
home.
Yeah,
And then
my
your
dad
dad took
came
you
to
to the
pick me up.
hospital
Yeah, my
to get
dad
your
came to
stomach
pick me up.
pumped.
And even the teachers, they were like talking to my dad and they were like, yeah, no, like your son is a very good kid. Like he's never in here. He talked to Mr. Marshall. Even Mr. Marshall was like putting me up there. He was like, yeah, like Brian, like he's an awesome kid. Like he's never really in here. So it's like I just thought it was crazy to like see him like that. I felt really bad, and they were just checking in and stuff. And I remember there was this one chick that I was talking to, and I was throwing up in the bathroom, and you could just hear her in the background room, and she was like, "Brian, are you okay?" And I'm like, just kept on like throwing up, and then fucking the Corey, the audacity, this motherfucker, he was just like, yo, you good? He was like, yo, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, and I just kept on throwing up. I was like, it's fine. I'm like just go, let me just.
I have to say, like, I mean, like I said from before, like, from an outsider, you're like, you hear, oh, like, this dude gave you, like, laxative chocolate, like, I would have fucked him up, or I would have, like, that would be, like, people would, like, completely, like, punch your teeth in, or blah, 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 like, from an outsider, but from an inside, like, knowing Decory, knowing, like, I was literally not like with him when I was with him when he gave you the chocolate, but I wasn't with him when he was talking about the plan.
And I knew this kid from
But
fifth grade.
yeah,
I knew him from fifth grade.
Exactly, but I feel because he was talking with like there was a bunch of people. Like it was a huge group. It was a huge group of us, and he was talking to a lot of people, and it was like it's like we haven't necessarily touched base on it a lot. We talked about making this a category, I know, but we kind of stopped, obviously we stopped doing categories and we kind of left it as a free range question back and forth, so it's more raw material.
Yeah.
But peer pressure. That's a prime example of peer pressure where it was like a lot of people were like, you gotta do it. Like ask someone to like eat this chocolate. It's laxative chocolate. Get someone to eat this. Like, dude, that would be so funny. Like, you would be so funny, the funniest. Like, and then he did it. And then after he did it, like, he genuinely felt bad. Like, he was talking about it. Like, dude, I shouldn't have did this. Like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I didn't mean to do. Like, I was just trying to like, be funny. Da 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 da. Like. I hope he's okay. Like, I hope, like, and then when he got told you went to the hospital and got your stomach pumped, I don't think you got your stomach pumped, but that had been spread that you got your stomach pumped.
Yeah.
To kind of, like, heighten the story, essentially. Yeah. And he was like, dude, like, I didn't mean, like, I wasn't trying to get him to go to the hospital. It was just, like, a simple laugh. Like, I thought he would laugh. He would like, go take a shit once and then, be done with it. Like I didn't like, whatever. And we were like, no, dude, like it's not like laxative chocolate. Like potentially could make you go a couple times before you finally stop. It could mess up your like day.
Yeah, because if you go from a natural flow or a natural like scheduled time or whatever like that,
you might go 3, 4, or 5 times, which. I'm used to that because I have a condition, but for someone who's not used to it, you'd be like, dude,
you're pretty much flushing out your system, and then you're pretty much dehydrating yourself because the more you release, the more you have to put back in your body, so it's depleting more and more and more.
And for someone like you, you're not used to that, but someone like me, I drink like a half a gallon minimum of water every day, if not a gallon.
Yeah.
Which people don't do that.
Right.
They're supposed to.
I mean, I drink a lot of water. I think me and you are pretty much on par, but the reason why I drink a good amount of water is because, like, I take that creatine, and also on top of that, I sweat a lot. So, like, the water retain is, like, it's just so rapidly released that it's just not being held up.
And for me, it's just because I go to the bathroom a lot because of my condition. So, I mean, it's kind of like you weigh out your options, and you do. But if you throw in that random laxative chocolate or whatever, that could really screw you up. And I don't think he realized. I mean, as a teenager, you're kind of like, just do it, just
Yeah.
so. But I definitely, on his behalf, I could definitely, from being that somewhat in that clique or party or whatever you want to call it, he definitely said several times how bad he felt and like he was definitely concerned.
Well, good. He should fucking feel bad. Fuck that motherfucker.
But no, he was bad. He was nice. Even in high school, like he stood up. There was like, what was it? When freaking, you can even ask Ray when Ray was being picked on by that kid, Eric, and freaking Eric was like laying into him, like making Puerto Rican jokes and like saying, "Oh, you know, you freaking your grandma like all she makes is rice and beans. Like you're a piece of shit. All you wear is Dickies clothes." Da, 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 da. And then freaking, I don't know what like
sparked
it. I think it was a bit of like Johan, because Johan had done something. I forget. He did something that day that caused me to like flip out on both of them. And I stood up and I said,
because like, Johan was also including on talking shit too, Ray.
Yeah, a little bit, but he wasn't like doing it too much. He was kind of like giving Eric a little bit of ammo. And I was like, I told Eric, I remember I was telling him, I'm like, dude, you need to shut the fuck up. Like, you talk so much shit, but you can't fight for shit. I'm like, you can't do shit. I'm like, all you do is run your mouth, and then it means nothing at the end of the day. Like, I'm like, if you want to pick on someone, pick on me. I'm like, because I'll get suspended. I don't care. I'll freaking punch you dead in your face, break your nose, and leave you here with blood pouring out your nose. And guess what? Everybody's going to be talking about it.
Fun fact, it only takes 7 pounds of pressure to break a human's nose.
Yeah, exactly. So at that
Thank
point...
you there, Jersey Shore. Paulie D.
I didn't even... All right. Literally fun fact. I mean, I knew it was like very low pounds of pressure.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really... Dude, you talk about something like this, very like flimsy, whatever like that. I want to say like maybe 70 or 75% flesh and you know like muscle, and then literally just a small skinny piece of bone.
But I told this dude, I said like I'll fucking break your nose. Like I don't care. Like I'm already grounded. Like I've already been told I'm grounded for the rest of the
So it's like honestly, like what else can you possibly do
like,
to me?
You're
talking to a person who has nothing else to lose.
Like
I'm a dangerous man, baby.
That's literally where I was at. Like I remember my last year of high school, I did not give a fuck. Like I straight up was like done, because I was like fed up with my stepmom to a point where I was like, I remember I was messaging my aunt about emancipation. I was like, I'm done. And then in reality, now I look back on it and I'm like, that was really fucking stupid to talk about emancipation, because at that point it's too late. By the time you get it through the courts,
emancipation, that's like
basically if you're like 16, I don't quote me, guys. If you're 16, typically you can go to a court with if you have a family member that you know, you can go to court, get a lawyer, and request to have an emancipation and be emancipated. Essentially, you would prove that you can go to school but also work a decent amount of hours, enough to pay to live on your own.
Oh,
pay
okay.
Your rent,
so basically
whatever.
Free collar. Gotcha. Okay.
And if you could do that, then you could be emancipated.
Gotcha.
I already knew that was out the window, because I worked at McDonald's, and two, there was no way I was going to do school and then work enough hours at McDonald's, because most jobs,
and have your own place.
Most jobs were like very like, oh, if your grades are going down, then we got to cut your hours or
Yeah, because they had to look out for that.
But anyways, back on topic. So, I told him, I said, I'll fucking break your nose, like right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? We're both gonna get suspended, because guess what? even though I punch you, it's still a fight between me and you, so they suspend both kids that fought. So I get suspended, you get suspended, and you get kicked off your soccer team because at the time he was on soccer.
Oh yeah, very huge.
So I was like, do you want to get
Into it.
kicked off your soccer team? I don't fucking think so. And then I turned and look at John and I was like, dude, fucking Ray is your friend. He's been friends with you for fucking years since middle school, and we're already fucking like 6, 7 years fucking deep. And you can't even back him up. All you can do is fucking give this kid ammo against him. I'm like, dude, you're fucking two-faced, and I'll fucking break your nose too. If you want to fight, let's fucking fight too.
Yeah, and he's like, oh,
He's
you're
like, oh, I ain't
like,
trying
relax.
to, like,
Like,
I'm
I
not
ain't
trying to
do
fight
it.
or get
Yeah.
suspended. And then Eric said the same thing. I said, I don't fucking care about what you guys want. Like, you can say you don't want to get suspended, but your feelings don't fucking matter. It's a matter of what happens in this moment. If I swing at you, it's happening.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to be like, oh, I don't want to fight. So there's going to be a force field around me. So if you try and swing at me, your fist is going to bounce. No, I'm going to fucking hit you in your face. And guess what? That's the end of it.
That reminds me of 3 incidents that happened to me. First incident, and it was me, like a freshman, and there was this kid named Justin, and this was I don't even know how the fuck like this kid was like included or whatever like that, but I guess he had feelings for this chick. And again, bro, like I don't do shit, bro. I don't do anything to get these females hyped up or anything like
Yeah.
that. I just
She
do
had
even
feelings for
even me
you.
being a first, yeah. But there was like 2 females. There was one female named Helen, and then there was another female named Kira or whatever like that. And I guess he had feelings for either both of them or one of them, whatever like that. And I don't know. There was this one day I was chilling with PK. You remember PK?
Yeah.
And fucking me and him were just chilling and shit like that, just vibing. And we were just like walking. And I was just like, damn, man, like I really wish I had like some headphones and shit like that. And I wanted to like listen to something. So I saw this kid, Justin. And I was just like, yo, like, you got a pair of headphones on you that I could, like, borrow? Like, I'm just, like, trying to, like, listen to, like, some music and just chill out, whatever. And he was like, nah, I don't have a pair of headphones or whatever. Like, oh, okay, all right, word. And left it at that. Next day, this dude was over here just like, oh, like, did you try to rob me the other day? I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? It was like, I asked you if I could borrow your headphones. And he was just like, nah, bro, like, you were trying to rob me that day. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm like, just because I was rolling up on you, 1 deep, trying to rob you, I would at least try to run up on you 5 deep if I'm trying to rob you. But, like, no, like, I wasn't trying to rob you. Anyways, it got to a whole altercation where he kept on trying to, like, fight me and shit like that and everything. It's like, dude, I'm a freshman, so I wasn't really trying to, like, be about that life. So I was like, I wasn't really about it. I was like, dude, like I don't even know like what your problem is. Like, I'm not trying to fight you and shit like that. And he's just like, oh, well then it's just gonna be like me hitting you and shit like that. And I was like, all right, then whatever it is. Never really ever even made the move.
But
Never confronted me after school or anything like that. Never did anything like that. And I was just like, dude, like what the fuck was all that about?
See, the difference is though is that he said that he would hit you, and you were like, okay, okay, whatever happens happens. Whereas if you were like, oh, I ain't trying to like get suspended, I ain't trying to like be in the office, like I ain't trying to do that. Whereas that's showing like, 1, you don't want to be engaged, and 2, you're concerned.
Yeah.
Whereas 2, it's like the dudes that I had said that to, Eric or John and whatever, it's like you engaged in,
Yeah.
you caused the issue and you established the hostility, and so I met hostility with hostility.
Which brings me to my next one is I think I already told you this, sir, and we probably already talked about it. Fabrice, you remember him?
I think, yeah, we talked about it a little
Yeah,
bit.
that was that one where I told you that like I was joking around with him and and it was like in the courtyard, and we were leaving.
Seriously.
Yeah, he took it kind of seriously, and I called him a bitch, and I was just joking around, and he swung at me, and then I made contact with his face with my fist, and my English teacher came out of nowhere, and then she was just like, "Oh, like Brian, go or yeah, like go home," and I was just like, "What?"
Oh, yeah,
he started it, and then like he pretty much like left and saw him the next day in science class, and Mr. Bam, and then like was smiling, and then put his face on. I'm like, "Why the fuck are you smiling for?" First of all, and secondly, what the fuck was that shit about yesterday? And then the third time was remember Sam Rodriguez, the one with the thing on his.
Yeah.
So this was you remember also Mario Lopez, the one that had like like everyone call him like a little bit of fish face. But me and him, he was trying to count money, and I was trying to help him. I mean, go figure. You got two people who aren't really good at numbers and shit like that. We're both trying to count money. We had like couple quarters and stuff like that, and we're trying to count it, and then Sam in the fucking background being fucking Sam and being stupid, and he's just like trying to mix our numbers up and shit like that, and he's like yo, like Mario was like telling us like, yo, like you need to shut the fuck up, like I'm trying to do this and trying to count this, and he's like, oh, why, what were you trying to do? And I'm like, yo, I was sure it was like, yo, Sam, like for real, like you need to shut the fuck up and like leave us the fuck alone, we're trying to do this. And then he was just like, oh, what are you gonna do about it? I was just like, I'm like, yo, you being for real right now? Like you really do? I could literally kill your life right now and take that shit out from your fucking throat. Like, you really trying to fucking do this? You have one bold weakness that I could see plainly blank. I can do a Jason Statham or I could do a Liam Neeson. Whichever way you want this to go down. Either way, you're going to either end up fucking dying or going to the hospital. So which one you want?
There's a threshold I find. I mean, now, like I said, like a broken record player, looking back in our past, I mean, and I'm sure you could attest to this, looking back in your past, you're kind of like, it's high school, like, kids will be kids, they're fucking stupid. They're going to say stupid shit. Now, I mean, like, prime example, I did exactly how you described is what I did to my wife, where we had a gift card from Publix, and it had a certain amount on it, and I was messing with her, and I was, like, saying random numbers, and then I was reading license plates that had numbers on it and stuff, and trying to get her to forget on purpose, but I was also remembering the number in my head in case she did genuinely forget. But I mean, there's a fine line where it's like, where, prime example, Sam was saying it and then Mario said like, dude, can you like stop, shut the fuck up? Like, there's a fine line where you're gonna be like, okay, I've crossed it, I probably should stop.
Yeah.
And it would be different if like Mario said that and he was like, oh, my bad, like, I was trying to make a joke. I didn't mean to, like, genuinely mess you up. I was just like...
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Whatever. And then eventually Mario would probably be like, no, it's fine. No harm, no foul. But, I mean, I was genuinely trying to remember, and you were genuinely, like...
Making me mix up the numbers and stuff like that.
And I think there's that, high school dilemma where it's, like, you're kind of playful and, like, it's all about laughing and being funny versus getting the job done.
The crazy thing is that people try so hard to be funny. When you are more natural funny, it speaks most and it laughs the most. As opposed when you force it, it's even like because like, remember Sebastian?
Yeah.
Sebastian, this was like still the beginning of freshman year. Fucking beginning of freshman year, this dude was trying to be a class clown in Mr. Bems, and Samantha Sanborn was like literally let him have it. She was just like, shut the fuck up. She was like, shut up. It's like, you're not funny. And then like Sebastian looking at me, he's just like, dude, like what the fuck was all about? I'm like, I told you, bro. I told you, dude. I was like, yo, like she ain't the one to fucking play around, dude. Like, I told you. I'm like, listen, man, if you trying to be funny, like I like you. You're funny. You're a chill dude. But like, bro, you gotta mind your P's and Q's there, buddy. Like, ain't really worth it to try to get a laugh. I know when to make people laugh, and I know when to not make people laugh. And there's been a lot of times when I was forcing the laugh, and it did not end up too well. And then there's times where I was just generally not even trying to be funny, and then I made people laugh, and I was like, okay. But it's one of those things, man. Trial and error. You live and you learn, and then you kind of get that aspect. Do you have anything to include before we end this?
Yeah, I would say pick and choose your battles is a big thing, especially when you're in high school. I mean, if there's any high schoolers that are listening or that listen out there, I know podcast isn't necessarily kid friendly, but I mean, come on, let's be honest. You're gonna listen to it, or listen to whatever you want, but definitely pick and choose your battles. Don't set those boundaries and make sure like you don't overgo them. Give people their personal space. Respect. Give that respect to them just as much as you want the respect from them. Some people might not give it to you, but the best thing you do is kill them with kindness, kill them with respect back, respect them. But, don't let them necessarily walk all over you. But, get the gist. I mean, I'm not your parent.
Well, sometimes also it takes into that perspective, too, that also remember that it only takes, just that one person to say something and just, push them to the edge. One line that I remember from Heath Ledger, when he was playing the Joker was that madness is like gravity and all it needs is just a push. So just, you got to remember, like, if there's that quiet person in that room, there's a reason why they're quiet. I ain't saying that they're going to become the next school shooter, but don't push them to be that school shooter. If you see a person eating lunch by themselves, or if you see a person that's like, may seem like down in their dumps, or they look like their puppy just died, whatever like that, maybe they just need that one person to just, just for them to like, speak to you, or, just to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? The worst thing you're going to get is the person to just be like, oh, I don't feel like talking, or like, please don't talk to me. That's the worst you're going to get. But, you're never going to know unless you ask and, unless you try. But we're going to leave it off on that, and we will see you guys soon. And this was Conversation Convo Combos, and we will be back. Peace.
Couple more weeks till Christmas.
Christmas.